Hello everyone, I am HorseyEatYou, and this is a tier list video. This is also my final thoughts on Subahibi after I finished a 85 episode long series on it. So I know the tier list video is probably going to get people who haven't watched that. So this is just me ranking how I like everything, but also me kind of like giving my final thoughts on everything. So like if you only care about the ratings, just skip to the end, I guess, right? I've never done this as a final thoughts video before, but let's see how it goes, right? Could be fun. One thing to note, this is on how much I like a character and on how good of a character I think they are, right? Those are two different things that, like, one is entirely subjective and one's a little subjective, right? Like, there's no such thing as like a universally, like, objectively good character, right? But kind of a little bit is. So let's get started, right? Okay, Aina's up first. This is evil. By the way, this is just one I found online, so if there's a missing character or two yet, then you know that happens. Really, we only need like the OGs. Like, who needs this? Is like Kiyoshi? Who? Why is he here? Okay, Aina. I don't know how to rank her. The problem is she is basically entirely irrelevant to the story. She is there for like the themes and philosophy of the game, but if you took her out, I think you'd lose a very important aspect, but this Subahibi as a whole would still work, which is why I don't know how to put her. Do I like her? Yeah, she's creepy. I don't like her when she smiles, and I don't know, A for Aina. Really, there should be an Ultranashi Aina tier. Really, like half the characters need their own tier because I can't explain them. Who? Ayumi? We'll get more of the Aina when I talk about N-Sky 2, by the way. But Ayumi, like, she basically only existed for the dog scene, right? Like, I really like her and Usami's design, but they just had no role in the story. Here, you know what? Well, Usami at least talks, so we could at least put her like there, right? But like, yeah, I just want to say again, I love both their designs. I also like the implication that Ayumi's just salty that her childhood friend is dating another girl. At least that's what it sounded like to me. Like, you know, like Ayumi was raped, Sakura was raped, and Ayumi, yeah, she's just a little jealous. Anyway, Hasaki, just making sure I'm recording, by the way. Yeah, I've got hard drive space. I'm just listening to Yoyo no Himawari on loop, by the way. I don't know what music I'll put in this video, but just for the vibes right now. Hasaki? Really fun character to have around. Did I like the incest? No, I'm a prude. I hate the incest. Especially because I don't know how old she is. She's somewhere between 8 and 15. I don't know where. Yeah, they're just putting in beefer right now, so I can let go of the mouse. Like, what streamed it, I feel like is a very weak chapter overall, but her characterization, like seeing in her head, is what made it worthwhile, I think, right? Definitely vital to the story. Put her A with Aina, right? Like, she's a very important, like, she's like almost the heart of the story. Mamiya, who he showed up to die, he was kind of sexist. Was he kind of sexist or completely sexist? He was one of those, but he didn't have any role in the story except to show up in the sky as a ghost. That's who tier. Kagami? It's funny because like Kagami had such a big role early on, and then basically you don't see her after Rabbit Hole 2, right? Do you? Well, I guess she's in It's My Own Invention, isn't she? I think she even has a small role in Jabberwocky 1. She might have shown up then. I like her, but I don't know. She's a tsundere. There's the implication that she actually exists on. Well, there's too many layers of reality, but like Hasaki saw the glowing blue eye, so it's not just completely drugs, right? Like she exists on some level. This guy, I don't even remember this guy. So like of the rapist crew, you know, he's that tier. Kimika, S+. I saw everyone saying how much they loved Kimika, Like before I played Subahibi. When I first saw her in It's My Own Invention, I was like, why do people like her? Right? Then I finished It's My Own Invention both the routes. I was like, oh, she's a good character. She's fun. And then Looking Glass Insects, the Kimiko route, I love her. She's the best. And, you know, the fact that she dies canonically in every ending is just sad, and I'll miss her forever. Like, she instantly makes every scene better after, well, and Looking Glass Insects in the end of It's My Own Invention. Like, when she first shows up, you know, she's in depressed crazy mode with her knife. Tactical Tonto. But God, she's amazing. Kimura? I'm the #1 Kimura fan on YouTube, so, like, I would put him S plus or S, but also there's like the fact that he's sitting on a minor, so you know he goes down 1. Not cool, Kimura. But also he goes down B because you really can't justify putting him in the same tier as Ayana and Hasuki. Kiyokawa, she got 2nd place in the Worst Teacher of the Year award, but also she's absolutely insane and crazy, and her scene is absolutely memorable. It's like, I don't know, I think it's the 2nd most memorable scene of It's My Own Invention's main route. Let's put her C tier. Master's cool. There's the fact that he is like a very, very stereotypical gay character, which is disappointing given, you know, this is the gay visual novel, right? I mean, I guess it's only the lesbian visual novel, isn't it? B or A? We'll put him above Kimura. Megu? Okay, this was a tough one. My thinking here is, do I hate her? Yes, I have a visceral hatred for her face. But that makes her such a good character. Like, that's the problem with this. There's this like bias when it comes to oh, oops, I accidentally scroll. Let's get that back. Is that good? Is that good? A little higher. Little higher. Okay. There's this bias when it comes to villains, right? Where when a male character does it, it's more accepted than when the female character does it, right? Because like Shiroyama and, you know, Numata and Ida and this guy and I think Kiyoshi, they're all the ones actually, you know, raping Zakura. Well, I don't know who's in. Well, this guy wasn't there, right? He missed out on it. Whoever, right? They were the ones doing all these heinous acts. I don't know, like what Megu and Sadako were doing plenty of awful things, right? But like, I feel like Megu and Sadako get more hate for it. I guess like, you know, they do have more screen time, and there's the fact that they're like, when they're complicit in Zakura's rape, they're not getting anything from it, right? Like Shiroyama's character, let's do him first, right? He's is primal the right word, right? He beats people up, he takes what he wants, he rapes, he does drugs. By the way, is that living happily? Because problem I have with like the one goal in life is live happily is like there's nothing in there about like being good to other people, right? That kind of comes later in Yuki's speech when she talks about like love and like being what connects us, but that's not part of the live happily. Not necessarily. I like to hear other people's feedback on that. So he was living happily until, you know, he did drugs and I guess fell off the roof, which, by the way, he really just fell off the roof. I was kind of waiting the whole time for the twist to be like, oh yeah, someone pushed him, but I mean, I guess Kimika could have, although she just disappeared in Looking Glass Insects, by the way, which is such a weird decision to never mention her again after, like, she just disappears. But I don't know, like, Shiroyama, there's nothing interesting about him, right? He just shows up and you're like, if Tomo-san is not there. But so Megu is a much better character. She's such a good antagonist. I hate her so much. You've got to put her at least in C tier, right? And Sadako is less interesting than Megu. Like, Megu seems like, yeah, whatever. Miyu is such a weird character, right? She shows up in Rabbit Hole 2. I forget what she does there. In Jabberwocky 1, she's this completely understanding character. Then in End Sky 2, that completely breaks everything. She's an Ayana the whole time? I don't know why she was... Wait, was she in Rabbit Hole? I don't think she was in Rabbit Hole 1. But I mean, I think you're seeing in. I don't understand the End Sky 2 part, so I'm not going to rank her based off that. I think your scene in Jabberwocky 1 was actually very memorable, so I'll put her in B tier. This guy, he's funnier than Shiroyama. Put him in D tier, right? He's definitely more memorable than Shiroyama, right? He got his threesome in the end. You know, what more could you want? Ida, he got away with everything, which is so, like, I was thinking the whole time, right, there was going to be like 3 kinds of justice, right? Like the Shiroyama, he just dies accidentally. The Numata, he gets exactly what he wants and pays for it. And then Ida, who would get like some kind of societal justice at the end because of Kimura, but that never happened. But he's the same level of Shiroyama, really. Little baby Takuji, we'll talk more about Takuji later, but this I don't like this character at all. I think he kind of undermines It's My Own Invention. I'm putting him in F tier. I'll get to this. I don't know why she's on here. You know, the jugs or something. I don't know. I can't put her in Who tier. Let's put her in C tier with Megu. Again, I feel like if they just changed the script a little bit, I feel like Kotomi could have been a much better written character. Like what's in the epilogue, like I think that's enough that if they had sprinkled that out throughout like Jabberwocky and It's My Own Invention, I could have liked her as a character, as like a villain. But as is, like, no, she's just I think it was handled wrong. And again, like it was like, you know, they're going for the things, like, yeah, but no, didn't work. Oh, Takuji, I don't know how to. This is hard. Okay, so first off, there's something I want to discuss. Couple things. A, there are 2 Takujis, right? There's like the one related to this one, right? Like the savior mode. But then there's also Weeb Takuji, who is seemingly like that's not what this kid is. I've gotta assume that's like a carryover from Sui no Sora, and like I'll talk more about this when I get to the other tier list, right? But I don't know, it feels wrong. But is he an amazing character? God, yes. I'm actually upset there's not an ending where like he lives, because It's My Own Invention, he's portrayed through a very, very thick layer of whatever is going on there of sympathy. Like he's just some way a poor kid who has mommy issues and he's bullied and like he wants to be happy, right? And just that's never paid off in Jabberwocky. Like especially I think it's his monologue on Wittgenstein and then the Kimika ending, portray him very sympathetically. And then in Jabberwocky 1, it's like, oh no, he's just possessed by a dead kid. He's evil. Kill him. Although, I mean, Takuji gets a little sympathetic in the ending. Like when Tomosane realizes he kind of killed him with the knife. And he's like, oh no, Takuji, because he's his brother. He cares about him. And then, like, we never really see anything on that, which is sad. Anyway, Tomosane? It's Tomosane S Foster S. Great character, lovely protagonist. Well, no, actually, I will say my favorite scene with him is just when he shows back up and It's My Own Invention. You can tell he's went through some kind of crazy character arc. You have no idea what it is, right? And you're just rooting for him. For that alone, S plus. I do think don't talk about Jabberwocky, but Jabberwocky wasn't all it was hyped up to be, but just no, him and It's My Own Invention and Looking Glass Insects cement him in S plus, right? He's amazing. Tsukasa, I like her a little more than Kagami, so just put them right next to each other. Although I guess she's less interesting than Kagami. Put her under. Not a lot to say about the Wakatsuki sisters, really. Yasuko, when she was introduced in Gravital 2, I loved her. I love her scene with Yuki, but then, you know, there's the whole Kagami thing, which, I don't know. We'll put her in C tier. We'll put her top of C tier. I mean, really, like, the Kagami thing, it was a doll. Like, it's just like, yo, what's going on there? Like, hey, more elixir. Stat. Worst Teacher of the Year award goes to... whatever, Senagawa? Yeah, Senagawa. She's not much of a character besides just being a bad teacher, so probably D tier, right? Not a lot to say about her, just besides she's awful. But hey, the Rabbit Hole 1 teacher duo. Minakami, she's not S+, she's S. I really liked her in Rabbit Hole 2, right? And I didn't like her quite as much in Jabberwockies. Like, I feel like the Rabbit Hole 2, Yuki as a protagonist is better than Yuki as a like side / secondary / non-protagonist character. And that's why I really liked End Sky 2, just returning to how it started. Like, I like you being in Yuki's head. And seeing Yuki outside of her head is so weird in Looking Glass Insects. And finally, Zakuro. Okay, for Zakuro, I'm going to be judging her by Looking Glass Insects Zakuro, because Rabbit Hole 1 Zakuro is a completely different character. They are not the same at all. And I'll talk about Rabbit Hole 1 in a minute. But I feel like she's a very good character. Main problem with her, I feel like her passivity should have been shown a little more. Like, especially in the Kimika route. She stands up in one moment, and then she kind of spends the rest of the route just standing there while Kimika does stuff. I think in the main route, like, it does a little better, where, like, at the very end, it shows her fighting back, but it's too late. And I just feel like that could have been written a little better. But, of the protagonist, no, who's my favorite person to be that? Well, it's Yuki. After Yuki, who's my favorite? Is it Tonosane? Like, I hate being in Takuchi's head, but that's the experience, right? You're supposed to hate it. I feel like A is fair. Let's move. No, we can't put it above Ayana. A for Ayana. Yeah, do I like this list? Yeah, I think it about checks out. Like, remember, this is how much I like them and how good of a character they are. Like, Megu could honestly be moved up a tier, just because I do think she's that good of a character. Like, yeah, I'll put Megu above Kimura. No, okay, that's too much. There. Like, Megu is too well written to put her below that. Right? I'm gonna put that in the thumbnail, and people are gonna be like, why is Megu the B tier? No, you know what? Let's put it as S+ tier. That'll get the clickbait. No. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I can live with this. Like, Kimika is obviously number 1. There's not a she's the best character in all of fiction. Quote me on that. Okay, I'm gonna go get the other tier list ready. There is one, but it doesn't have the Kimika endings in there, so I have to add those. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Happy Kimika is Looking Glass Kimika. Sad Kimika, well, Dead Inside Kimika is it's my own invention Kimika ending. Okay, Down the Rabbit Hole 1. I do not understand the point of this chapter. It's not there for the narrative. Is it there for, like, the themes and philosophy of Super? Maybe. Is it just there so they can talk about it in End Sky 2? Very much possibly, right? I have not done any reading on it. I plan to reread Rabbit Hole 1 at some point. It's definitely the part of the game I do not understand. And what's the point of it? Is it to get all the casuals to leave? So you have to make it past the Yuri slumber party if you want to read the Kino stuff? Maybe. Still, I mean, I did Zakuro in it was fun. Like, there's a character there. The Night on the Galactic Railroad scene was cool. The roller coaster ride, I still don't get what that was about. They talk about that in End Sky 2, but I didn't get it. This is just how time doesn't matter. Is that it? Or is it a Suino Sora reference? Or I don't know. Anyway, like, would love to hear people's thoughts on Rabbit Hole 1. Rabbit Hole 2. When I started this, I loved this chapter, but after doing everything else, it's like, oh, it's just okay. Like, it's very much a setup chapter when you look back at it. Like, it's all just smoke and mirrors for Yuki to be there, right? And sets up a lot of stuff, but not much actually happens. And then, like, I have nothing else to say other than Yuki's cool in it. It's My Own Invention is absolutely... this is the craziest piece of fiction I've ever read. It's too long is the problem. That's the one problem with it. It's way longer than it needs to be. If they trimmed it down by like they could trim it down like half even, and it probably still work. But like I think I've heard it's a third of the script, which doesn't really feel right based off the episode count. But I'll take that. I'll take their word for it. Someone said that when I was googling how long each chapter was a long time ago. Takuji is an insane character to be in the head of. It has so many memorable scenes. The desk scene, the Kiyokawa scene. Like, before I read Subahibi, I was kind of thinking, like, why are there H scenes in this? Does there need to be H scenes? Because I'm a prude. Like, I like non-H scene visual novels, like Umineko, you know, that kind of stuff. And like, I was like, it's gonna be a huge pain to edit this all out in my YouTube series. But like, It's My Own Invention is why they're there. Most of the other ones could be cut out, but like, could you cut out the desk sex scene and still have Subahibi? I don't think you could. Or the Kiyokawa scene. I mean, I guess you could hide the nudity there and still keep the scene, right? But like, the sex and depravity is very much a part of it. And cutting to that one orgy scene every 5 seconds to make me edit it out annoyingly, that's part of it. Yeah. Anyway, the Kimika ending for it, really good ending, really sweet. Oh, I should talk about the ending itself. Like, it's oddly moving. Like, it makes you forget that it's a bunch of kids committing suicide. And one thing about the live happily thing I'm interested about. Well, no, I guess living happily doesn't mean just do your best to be happy. It's get through life. It's terrible, and you're gonna be happy doing it, right? That is that my understanding of it. And so, you know, the rooftop party, that's ignoring the living part. They're not living, they're just being happy and then committing suicide, right? Is that how other people view that? I'm not sure. That's part of reading out loud, is that sometimes you kind of like don't get to pay 100% attention to the text. So some scenes, like, you know, I maybe miss subtext or something something like that, right? Yeah, so Kimika ending. Two things about it. First off, I actually liked Kimika and Takuji's interactions more in the main route than in this one. Ending. Right? In this one, you get like the drugged out, what time is it scene? And then in the other one, I haven't actually reread it, but it felt like a very heartfelt conversation between them, which is kind of replacing the Kimika ending with the very ending, right? And it's such a good ending. It gives characterization to Takuji, and of course, we never see that again after its final mention. But I never really like romantic suicide, like romanticizing it. So let's just put an A tier. I'd say it's a little better than the normal ending. Looking less than sex. Okay, this one's. I don't know how to rank this one, honestly. So, Rabbit Hole 2, It's My Own Invention, great time. Well, actually, let's do this in the order I read it in, okay? I'm just going to talk about the Kimika ending first, and then the main route. The Kimika ending is my favorite part of Subahibi. It's the absolute peak of Subahibi. Going from Rabbit Hole 2 to It's My Own Invention to the Kimika route, that is what Subahibi was to me, right? Invention wasn't all good, but it was a roller coaster, right? Sometimes you got to go down sometimes you got to go up before you can go down, right? That's just how roller coasters work. That's how It's My Own Invention works. And then you get to the Kimika end route, and it's beautiful. It's funny, it's sad, it's gripping. And Kimika and Tomosane in it are at their peak, and they're the best character writing in Subahibi. And I love it so much. Sakura, I feel like, I talked about this just a few minutes ago. Could have been written a little better. Like, her panache scene is cool. I love that scene, right? Even though is it cringy? Yeah, but that's the fun part of it. But like, there's also just the fact that she just stands there and goes, Kimika! That's all she does with the route. Oh, we love her for it. Except for when she's the one who initiates the H scene in the route, right? I skimmed through it because I don't need those. They don't go on YouTube. But I think that's how it went. So it is nice to just kind of see her growth after that, right? And I also love how it has like the very like it's like, you know, when a game has a true ending and a normal ending, it very much feels like the normal ending. It's like, oh yeah, everyone lived, you beat the big bad, but did you see the secret? Did you get all the stuff? And you know, with Mamiya becoming the fake Yuki at the end, like Ayana says as much or something like that. It's like Ayana telling us, oh, you gotta replay the game to see more. Like, I haven't played it. What's the game where you play as like a kid and there's Monster Girl Quest? That's the one. Spoilers for that one. But well, maybe I shouldn't say that because I heard apparently some, like, if you don't know it, yeah, maybe I should shut up. I haven't even played the game. Right, it is. That's Subahibi for me right there. Look at that smile. And so the rest is looking less than sex. It kind of feels like it doesn't have a place in Subahibi, honestly. I know everything I just said about it, right? But like, if you took it out, if you took Looking Less Than Sex out, I think all of Subahibi would still work completely fine. Like, Zakuro's exact reasoning for her suicide would be left unknown, but like, we didn't have a good idea of it, right? But like, really, they could have just changed the Ryu scene in its final invention and it would have been completely intact, like the theme of it, like, and how it interacts with Live Happily, right? And like, it cuts into the flow of it so badly. Like, Down the Rabbit Hole 2 and It's My Own Invention all set up like the Trinity twist, right? How they're all 3 personalities. Well, really like 5 personalities in one head. But then Looking Less Than Sex just takes a step back. And I guess if you hadn't realized the twist by then, that it might read differently, right? But I figured it out by It's My Own Invention. So when it was revealed in Looking Less Than Sex, I was like, I was right. And then, you know, and that was it. Right? Well, I wonder if there's anyone that got through Looking Less Than Sex wondering, like, what's up with Mamiya? Why is he acting all weird? Why is Ozzy calling him Tomo-ni-san? What's going on? Why is he being like Minagami? There's no way. Yeah, but I think I've got to put it in C tier. Although I will say the rape scene is absolutely grueling, and they did a great job of making me just feel miserable reading that. Like, I like how it didn't really, like, it didn't feel sexualized. Like, you know, like we saw her naked, right? But and I guess it's in the scene replay. So I guess if you want to go, you know, have some fun to that, you could. But like, that's not the point of it. That's not why the nudity's there. It's meant to be like depraved and depressing. And that's another reason why the H's are necessary in Subahibi. They're rarely there just for, you know, oh hey, here the nerds can, you know, look at this and have fun with it. Right? Speaking of Jabberwocky 1, I was hyped about this for so long and like it kind of let me down. Like, it was good. There were good parts to it, just a lot of it was Tomo-sane Hasuki flirting, which wasn't great. There are cool parts. Like, basically everything after Tomo-sane dies to Takaji is awesome in Kino. But the rest is just kind of like, eh. So, like, I think Rabbit Hole 2 tiers is fair, yeah. What streamed it? Oh yeah, another thing I didn't talk about is, wait, hold on. I had a notepad file. Let me pull that up real quick. Okay, 2 things. First off, when I was talking about Nerd Takaji, I completely forgot to bring up. So, you know how Takaji's supposed to be the ghost of the kid who was like, you know, the savior? What's up with Takaji's backstory then, right? We have like the confession scene. We have him being raped, which that is not in, like, well, obviously, like, it's not like he would choose to be raped or not, but like, that's not in character for the Mamiya Takaji that died on the hill that possessed Tomo-san. I don't get what's up with that Takaji. That has to be just a Suino Sora carryover, right? I think so. Another thing I had in the thread that I didn't mention is that 8 years ago when Subahibi came out, the week after, there's on Sashrai Visual Novels, I don't know if they still do it, there used to be a weekly discussion thread that was like a book club kind of thing. And like everyone would post in it, post like analysis and stuff. I bookmarked that. I was like, okay, I'll come read I'll come look at this when I read Subahibi any day now. That was 8 years ago. So I'm probably going to look at it, which is interesting. Anyway, something notable about Jabberwocky 1, as someone pointed out, is that it kind of breaks away from the, oh, we're repeating the same thing over and over. Like Rabbit Hole 2 and It's My Own Invention play very close to each other, right? Like you're seeing the same scene just from a different perspective. The Jabberwocky 1 does have a little bit of that, but it's done very quickly. And then you're seeing a whole other side to things, which I feel like that's actually a fair reason to put it above Rabbit Hole 2. Same thing with, well, not the same thing with Looking Glass Insects, but like it's a route where you already know the ending, right? I mean, I guess it's true with this because it's all leading back to that rooftop we saw at the end of Rabbit Hole 2. Everything leads back there. Which is... What was up with the ending of Rabbit Hole 2, by the way? Why did reality glitch out? What was Ayana doing? Why'd she break the fourth wall? We never saw what happened to that Minakami. And we never... Well, I guess she can't see Hasagi, can she? Well, she would have seen her as Tsukasa if she... Well, I guess she just didn't see her. She was glitching out. And when we streamed it, not a very good route. I only liked it for Hasuki's characterization. Kimura is in it. Oh, actually, Kimura is in it, so it's better, yeah. Jabberwocky 2, I feel like the flashbacks are put in the wrong place. Like, we have all this hype built up for the rooftop scene, for the climax, and then we rewind it back. I feel like that's what Which Streamed It should have been. And then make Jabberwocky 2 the Hasuki route, or like the Hasuki chapter. So Which Dreamed It would be the flashback. The Jabberwocky 2 is Hasuki leading up to the rooftop. It's basically just Which Dreamed It. And then it cuts to the end of Jabberwocky 2 with Mamiya, like Tomosane and Minakami. Maybe. I feel like that would have been stronger. Just Jabberwocky... No, okay. I can't put it that low because... Everything after, like, I don't know, Tomosane rescues Hasuki from the, like, when she ran off, is Kino. Like, this talk with Minakami, that is Subahibi. That is the number one most important scene in Subahibi. The number one best scene in Subahibi. Like, I can't put it low because of that, right? You gotta put it here. Is This My Own Invention my favorite chapter? I didn't think it'd end up like that. Like, I mean, I consider this to be its own chapter, right? Like, it's by far the longest, like, well, I mean, not much competition, but it's basically, I think it's longer than the other half of Looking Glass Insects. Like, it's, yeah, okay, that's fair. Anyway, now I got the 3 main endings. By the way, I didn't get the Wakasuki endings back in Rabbit Hole 1, but I feel like they don't matter. I kind of want to go back and reread them at some point, maybe on camera. We'll see. Let me know if you want to see that. Anyway, 3 endings, that's in the order I got them. Wonderful Every Day, I mean, I feel like putting this on the same tier list as their routes is kind of weird, but I guess I did that with the Kimi ending, right? This is the best ending. I think A tier. The scene about their mom, even though I feel like it could have been handled way better, I feel like that's in line with the series. The scene with Kimura is Kino. They knew what they were doing. Skadaji knew. Give the best scene at the very end to the best character. And it just feels it's the most fitting ending. It's more fitting than Sunflowers, even though, like, I'm a prude. I hate the incest, but then also, hold on, we'll get to this. Like, it's not really played up. Like, we have an H scene in Jabberwocky 2, but it's not really. It's just barely mentioned in Jabberwocky in Wonderful Every Day, so I can look past it a little bit. Now, Hill of Sunflowers, I feel like it's not as good of an ending. There's that it kind of ignores a lot of the stuff. Although, I mean, I guess you could say that this is a year later. This is a month later. So it gets away with it, right? I wasn't a fan of the Minakami Hasuki antics. Like, you've heard me complain about the Hasuki stuff. I also just dislike the Minakami romance. Like, in Jabberwocky 2, Minakami is a maternal figure to Hasuki. Like, they say that. I think it's Hill Sunflowers. She's also a maternal figure to Tomosane. Like, she's his big sister / mom figure, right? Like, she's out there. Like, remember, he's like 9 or 10. in Jabberwocky too. She's taking care of both of them. And I feel like turning that into a romance is kind of weird. I don't know. They both their romances hit me the wrong way. Was there anything I liked that, like, Kimura was in it? But yeah, it's fine. I wish Takuji was alive in it. That'd make it good. That'd make it Kino if Takuji lives out. Oh, the fake out was kind of funny. I'll give it that. And then the callback. Well, was there another callback I'm forgetting? Like, there's the callback to that scene where they're in bed together, right, with them both at his arms. I forget though. I know there is a bonus chapter in the voiced edition that's an epilogue to this. I don't really feel like reading that right now. Maybe I will in the future. Is it good? Knocking on Heaven's Door? Is there anything good in that? I don't know. End Sky 2, I don't know how to rank this. I'm putting it same as Rabbit Hole 1, not because it's bad, just it's outside the story, right? It is about the metaphysics and philosophy of Subahibi. It's not, which that's attached to Subahibi, right? But also, like, I don't know. It's weird. But also, I think I understand it more now because I've been looking at the Tricatus a little bit. Especially the part that kind of confused me a little bit is the reincarnating soul stuff, which may or may not be true, right? It's intentionally ambiguous. But I feel like the fact that it's number 7, which is also how many sections are in the Tricatus, is important. But when Ayano was talking about pain, I understood it. Because let's talk about the Tricatus. By the way, if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. I have a beginner's knowledge of Wittgenstein. So let's use my mouse. You can see my mouse, right? Yeah, okay. So the world is everything that is the case. The world is made up of atomic facts. Atomic facts are objects or groups of objects, an object or groups of objects, right? And we describe objects with words. Meaning, if something is not physically in the world, we cannot meaningfully describe it with words, so we shouldn't, because of where one cannot speak, like limits of my language, limits of my worlds, etc., right? So pain is something not physically in the world, right? So we cannot meaningfully discuss it. Yet we do discuss it. And when someone says they're in pain, we understand that. So the only way we can understand that is if pain is in our world, but it's not physical. So the only way we could understand it if it's in our world, meaning we are the same person. Like, because we can't communicate that with words, yet we communicate that anyway, meaning we are feeling that pain, meaning we are the same soul, right? Am I Wittgensteining correctly? Maybe. Remember, the important thing about Wittgenstein is that it's all nonsense. He said so himself. It's nonsense. Yeah, these two are the things that leave me thinking about Subahibi, and I mean, I feel like that's intentional. Now, I've mentioned this a couple times. I just finished watching Twin Peaks season 3 like a month ago now, and Subahibi is basically just a David Lynch visual novel. It uses dream logic sometimes, like it leaves you with open-ended questions that have no answer, and that's the point. Maybe, Scott G knows the answers probably, but we are never going to know those answers, and that's okay. Because life doesn't always have answers, right? We're never going to know what's up with Ayana, and if the Subahibi world is just in her head, or if she's just observing it, or what, right? Or what Miyu is, or, what's going on with Ayana. Like, there's also the cyclical nature of Subahibi, which I don't get that. Is that just a metaphor for us replaying the game? Because again, the problem with this is that Rabbit Hole 1 is not a prequel to all of this. I thought this whole time that Rabbit Hole 1 was going to be Zakuro's ghost, like, interacting with the fake Yuki. That's what I thought once I saw the fake Yuki, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what it is, right? Or just Minakami, the real Minakami, like, after she disappears in the endings. That's Zakuro, like, interacting with her. And I thought Yuki was gonna wake up, like, from a coma after she fell off that cliff. Didn't happen. None of that happened. And I guess is that just like a what if scenario if Minakami had taken over Takuji's the Mamiya body, instead of going up the elevator, she tried to catch Sakura? Is that just what that timeline is? Maybe? And of course Ayana's there because she's the observer, right? By the way, how do people think of Ayana? Is she more of a burn Castell or a Featherin? How do I make this an Obinako reference, right? I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I guess, what is Ultranashi Ayana? She's Ultranashi Ayana, right? That's all she is. And yeah, it's still the ending I don't get. I mean, and I'm never gonna get it because that's the point. But still, I want to have more to say about it, but I don't. It's a weird way to end off Subahibi, and that's entirely fitting with it, right? This isn't like a mystery visual novel. It's not a romance visual novel. This is like a weird artsy visual novel, which I saw someone say, I don't know who it was, that like we're so lucky to live in a world where this got translated and is like a commercial success. And they're right. Like, this is such a weird product, and yet people like it. Like, it's usually those two things don't have that in common. Usually if it's like it's like artsy and weird in a good way, usually people hate it or like it doesn't sell. But somehow Subahibi did. I mean, I guess it's because it has cute anime girls get naked, right? That's Kimika, that's good enough for the general audiences. But I mean, I'm super thankful for Subahibi for, like, it got me into philosophy. Right? A few years from now, I'll be reading Plato. Oh, hey, how do you get into philosophy? Oh yeah, cute anime girl named Ayana told me to. Or I'll be reading, like, what's Kant's book name? I don't know. It's a super long one. We'll be reading David Hume. Oh yes, of course, Hume's fork. Ayana would love that. I don't know. And Cyrano is also just a great play. If you haven't seen Cyrano, you should go watch it. I watched the 1950 film version. It's great. There's a colorized one on YouTube, I believe, if it's still up on there. But yeah, this is the end. I've done, well, I guess I haven't done the Kagami Tsukasa ending, but besides that, I've done everything there is for Subahibi. I finished it, did a tier list, and we're done. Well, I mean, I guess I'm not done because I haven't recorded the Hill of Sunflowers extra thing. See, I'm not saying it out loud for some reason, even though you'll have already seen it. But it's either going to be cringe or it's going to be hilarious, or both. I don't know how that's going to go down. I hope it's good. Right? Anyways. If you're just watching this video as a tier, this video, thanks for watching. But if you're a viewer of mine who's been around for 85 episodes, wanted to thank all of you for being here for this journey. I'll be doing more stuff in the future, but if you're just here for Subahibi, I've had a good time with you. I hope you have a great rest of your life. I'm bad at goodbyes. Okay, I'm gonna cut the video before I start crying now. Like, no, I've been with Subahibi. It's 363 days now. I started it June 26th, is June 24th right now. It's weird to be done with it. Yeah, I don't know. Bye.